Right, we just done one of the previous videos I just done was a look at some of the Colocaceae and see how they performed this summer. So let's have a look at some of the Alocaceae. So this was this is an Alocasia macrorrhiza, which is like the giant Alocasia which I had sitting dormant in my conservatory over winter, so it basically dropped all its leaves. So this is in a big pot, and yeah, so getting late in the season now, and really, even though it's been really hot, that's sort of pumped out 3 leaves, and you know, reasonable sized leaves, but nothing giant. I would say obviously because it's dormant, they do take a long time to come out of dormancy, Alocaceae. The best scenario is to keep them growing, just ticking over, growing over winter, rather than let them go dormant, because you can be waiting all season for them to sort of come back into full growth, and by which time it's time for them to experience the cooler winter again. So that's something that's done all right. It's been in the background. You know, I can't complain. That's kicked out a few leaves. But let's have a look at one of the other ones. So this is, I don't know if it's Wetty Eye or Regal Shields, but this is one that I brought from B&M at the beginning, around about May time, I believe, and it had some good sized leaves on it to start with, which obviously in time they do brown off and whatnot. But that's kicked out a lot of new growth. I wouldn't say anything huge, but that's done okay. Really good sturdy plant. They look really nice actually in the sun. The leaves on these really sort of look almost furry. They're just catching the light and sort of iridescent. Nice back to the leaf. Done really well this one actually. I've just left it in the original pot I brought it in, just at the back of the border here. There's actually 2 plants in there, so I have been giving it liquid feed, and put a few beginning of the season when it first came out. I put a load of chicken pellets on it, chicken manure pellets, and I did top that up sort of mid-season. So that's done okay. This is getting sort of morning sun, but it's right against the fence, so by sort of midday that is in the shade. So I think that's done quite well in that scenario. Like I say, just really good sturdy leaves on these, actually quite thick, and like I say, the underside is quite nice, really stands out the veining, green veining on that sort of darker underside. So we have got some the older leaves fading off, and again what we had with the Alocaceae, Colocaceae, the looks like might be a bit of spider mite damage on it. So that's just how hot and dry it's been. We normally get fairly humid summers here in the UK, but now it's been pretty arid this year. So yeah, that's done quite well. I say quite nice, done really well. And one that I have said in the past always does well in sort of, I won't say cold conditions, but cooler conditions, is the Alocasia sumos. This is like a cross between something and something, don't ask me what, but these are quite a nice sort of sturdy leaf, and unfortunately it's got a bit of dry damage at the top, and the leaves have faded out a bit, so I'm guessing that's probably getting a little bit too much sun, this one. But again, we've got quite a nice dark underside, but there's sort of a dark veining in this one. Yeah, so they've kicked out a few decent sized leaves, and kicked out a few pups on the side as well. So that is the Alocasia sumo, and this is one I've had no problem with just sort of keeping in a greenhouse over winter. It never seems to die back. It just sort of sits there dormant, and it tends to get back into growth pretty quick as well at the growing season starts. So that's done well. This one is Patora, Alocasia Patora. So we've got like I don't know if we can see it in the shade here. It's got a sort of speckled sort of, I won't say trunk, the petioles leading up to the leaves are speckled. We've got a nice sort of curly edge to the leaf, and this one did go totally dormant and died back. And yeah, so everything on here is new growth for this season. So again, it takes a while to get back into growth. It's kicked out a few leaves off the main sort of corm of the growth, but we've got lots of little pups coming off it as well. So this is maybe one that I might try and keep ticking over winter to get it to a good size next year. So in conclusion, we've got one more, which was I bought as a rhizome from Himalayan Gardens a few years back. It sold as a Alocasia adorer, but I don't know, because I've seen other people have these and they seem to have upright leaves, where these tend to be more like the colocasias and have sort of downward facing leaves. It's definitely an Alocasia, but downward facing leaves, yeah. But this one's in a lot more shade, and probably a little bit more humid area here due to being close to the pond, and quite heavily watered area here due to the proximity to the tree fern. So that's, again, this was totally dormant beginning of the year, so it's pushed out only 3 leaves, but quite nice nonetheless. We've obviously, I'm in a hard water area, so when I do come across with the hose, that does tend to stain the leaves a bit with the hard water marks. But there's a new leaf there, you see how glossy that is, quite nice. Looks quite good in the shaded area. Right, I think that is it really for the updates on the Alocasias. So thanks for watching, we'll catch you on the next one.